Soft serve. It comes out of a machine in that familiar swirl, and the texture is the whole point. Unlike regular ice cream, soft serve is kept at a warmer temperature, which means less of it freezes solid. The result is a lighter, airier product that melts faster and feels smoother on the tongue. It became widely popular in the United States during the mid-20th century, partly because machines made it fast and easy to serve in large volumes. Today, it shows up everywhere, from fast food counters to high-end dessert shops experimenting with unexpected flavors. Gelato. It originates from Italy and has been made there in various forms for centuries, though the version most people recognize today took shape during the Renaissance period. What separates gelato from standard ice cream is the ratio of ingredients and the method of churning. It uses more milk than cream, less air is incorporated during the process, and it is stored at a slightly warmer temperature. All of this produces a denser, more intensely flavored product. Because it contains less fat, the flavor of whatever is inside, whether pistachio, hazelnut, or fresh strawberry, comes through much more directly. Sorbet. There is no dairy in sorbet at all. It is made from fruit, water, and sugar, which makes it both lighter and more intensely fruity than most frozen desserts. The origins go back a very long time, with some food historians tracing frozen fruit preparations to ancient Persia and China. Modern sorbet is smooth and firm, with a clean, sharp flavor that works especially well with citrus or tropical fruits. It is also one of the few frozen desserts that works as a palate cleanser between courses in a formal meal. Sherbet. Many people confuse sherbet with sorbet, but they are not the same thing. Sherbet contains a small amount of dairy, usually milk or cream, which gives it a slightly creamier texture than sorbet, while still keeping it much lighter than regular ice cream. The flavor profile tends to be fruit-forward, often leaning into bright, tangy tastes like raspberry, orange, or lime. It occupies an interesting middle ground and has been a staple in American dessert culture for decades, particularly in punch bowls at parties and celebrations. Mochi ice cream. It comes from Japan and combines two very different textures into a single small package. The outside is made from mochi, which is a soft, chewy rice cake prepared from pounded glutinous rice. Inside sits a ball of ice cream, usually a few bites worth. The contrast between the chewy exterior and the cold, creamy center is what makes it distinctive. Mochi ice cream became widely popular outside of Japan over the past few decades as Japanese food culture spread internationally, and it is now found in grocery stores and dessert shops across North America, Europe, and beyond. Rolled ice cream. The preparation is part of what makes it memorable. A liquid cream base is poured onto an extremely cold metal surface, and as it freezes almost instantly, vendors chop and spread the mixture, then roll it into tight cylinders using spatulas. The finished rolls are arranged upright in a cup and topped with various garnishes. The style originates from Thailand, where it became popular as street food before spreading rapidly through social media in the 2010s. The visual appeal of watching it made is a significant part of the experience. Neapolitan. It is one of the most recognizable presentations in the history of ice cream. 3 flavors, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, sit side by side in a single block without mixing. The name references Naples, Italy, and the style was brought to the United States by Italian immigrants in the late 1800s. It became commercially popular because it offered variety without requiring multiple separate containers. Slicing through it gives each serving a stripe of each flavor, and whether people eat them separately or together has been a personal choice debated for generations. Drumstick. It is a format as much as a flavor. A waffle cone is pre-filled with ice cream, dipped in a chocolate shell, and often topped with crushed peanuts. The cone itself is sealed at the bottom to prevent leaking, which made it one of the first truly portable frozen dessert products. The original was created in the United States in the 1920s and became one of the most commercially successful ice cream products in history. The combination of textures, crunchy cone, firm chocolate, and creamy interior is a large part of why it has remained popular for nearly a century. Kulfi. It comes from the Indian subcontinent and predates modern ice cream by several centuries. Kulfi is made by slowly simmering milk until it reduces and thickens, then sweetening it and adding flavorings like saffron, cardamom, rosewater, or pistachio before freezing it in molds. Because no air is churned into it, kulfi is extremely dense and rich. It melts more slowly than Western-style ice cream, which makes it practical in warm climates. It is traditionally served on a stick and remains a central part of dessert culture across India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Frozen custard. It looks similar to soft serve, but the recipe is meaningfully different. Frozen custard must contain a higher percentage of egg yolk than standard ice cream, which gives it a richer, thicker consistency and a more pronounced creamy flavor. It is churned at a slower speed and served at a slightly warmer temperature, keeping it dense rather than airy. The style is especially popular in the American Midwest, where dedicated frozen custard shops have built loyal followings. Cities like Milwaukee and Street, Louis are often associated with a strong frozen custard tradition. Semifreddo. The name is Italian, and it means half cold, which describes the texture accurately. Semifreddo is not churned the way ice cream is. Instead, it is made by folding whipped cream or meringue into a flavored base and then freezing the mixture in a mold. The result is a frozen dessert that is firm on the outside, but softer and more mousse-like on the inside. It slices cleanly and is often served as a plated dessert in restaurants rather than scooped like regular ice cream. The technique is simple enough that home cooks make it frequently without needing any special equipment. Fried ice cream. The idea sounds contradictory, but the execution is precise. A scoop of very firm, frozen ice cream is coated in a layer of batter, breadcrumbs, or crushed cereal, then submerged briefly in very hot oil. The coating fries almost instantly, creating a warm, crispy shell while the interior stays cold. The contrast of temperatures and textures is the entire appeal. It is associated most strongly with Mexican-American cuisine in the United States, though similar preparations exist in Japanese and Chinese cooking as well, each with their own coatings and serving styles.